lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan, and today I'm going to be going through a really weird holiday comic, and it's Ambush Bug Stocking Stuffer. As you can see, all sorts of weird shenanigans on the cover. Ambush Bug is a character I don't know a ton about. I just know Keith Giffen created him. Breaks the fourth wall a lot. Definitely, I would say, comparative to, what Deadpool has become, what kind of Harley Quinn to a lesser extent has become. I wanted to talk about it because it is such a weird book, and with Keith Giffen passing, a couple months back, and on top of the fact that I'm doing a lot of holiday stuff, I figured it'd be kind of cool just to flip through and show off. But before I get into it, just want to remind everybody to make sure you hit that subscribe button if you dig what we do on the channel. Appreciate all the support we get, all your comments, your likes, and bunch of dope stuff on the channel. We got interviews, we go through books like this, we have indie spotlights, a bunch of great playlists you can check out as well. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you check out some of the other stuff. But let's get into this book. So it opens up, and this is all by Keith Giffen, and we have Ambush Bug. I know a little bit about Ambush Bug. Not a ton, but I did recently pick up the miniseries that Keith Giffen did that precedes this one shot. It's definitely something I'll talk about on the channel, but this was kind of, made sense with all the holiday stuff I was talking about, so figured I'd go through this one first. He is going out to do his duty for his country and fight in Vietnam, even though it's been long over. Obviously, this book came out in 1985, so the Vietnam War has long been done. But as he finds himself in the desert, he comes across this weird-looking character named Hucka, I believe is his name. I wasn't aware of who this character was, but he has ties to Atari Force, which, small coincidence, I actually picked up the first issue of that at a comic convention recently, so it's definitely something I will probably talk about on the channel because I've been going through this huge 80s DC rabbit hole of getting anything and everything that kind of looks interesting to me. So I've definitely been picking that up, and that'll be something we'll talk about. So it was kind of weird, wondering who this guy was, and then looking it up and figuring out that he is from that book. Talking about how and what happened in the Vietnam War. Just such a trip. So far, we're not even seeing anything to do with the holidays, so I thought it was kind of funny. As I said, Ambush Bug is a character that will break the fourth wall, so he's talking to the creative team. Little do those bushwhacking Viet Cong know that I sent Giffen, Oxner, and Fleming to surprise him from behind. They don't call me Ambush Bug for nothing. And this Hucka, character is like, something's wrong. I'm thinking in unbroken sentences. And he's now talking to us, the reader. And he expands and then forms into this planetoid or something. It looks like somebody lands on him, none other than Ambush Bug himself, and he pops it when he plants the flag there. So I thought this was really funny too. Is How to Write Comic Books Part 11. George Lucas was once told that there were no sounds in airless space. He didn't believe it. Today, George Lucas is a millionaire. 1,001 uses for dead Hucka. This is number 837, attracts flies and kills them. So again, now we've Dirk Mellon of the Hucka League, or the Hucka Anti-Defamation League. You either lay off my boy or I eat your fingers like crab legs. So just super funny. And then, we now flash into what would be the present day. And I guess that makes sense. Again, cancel Atari Force. I looked up who this guy was prior to seeing that. But just, again, cool little callback to that. Surprise. And then, you got a Yoo-hoo, but you can't really call it Yoo-hoo or Yoo-ho. So you call it a Yoo-ho. We are back to the feature attraction, and we are going to jump straight into Metropolis, where it is currently Christmas. And he keeps, he mentions this Cheeky that he's missing, who I don't really know who Cheeks is. But throughout this, he's plagued with all these memories of Cheeks being gone and, whether they're real or not. He's visited by these Jehovah's Witnesses who have a bunch of their literature. And if you know anything about, I'm not trying to make fun of Jehovah's Witnesses, but I constantly get knocks on my door for all sorts of stuff, whether multitude of religions. So I just think it's funny that he gets buried under all of this. And he's convinced he's going to make a small donation, but they're gone. Then we pan out to these cops that are walking around. And there's been a bunch of attacks on toy stores, and somebody's breaking them in only to eat these dolls. And so they're like, these dolls have been cannibalized. Just super, super weird. Again, all the while, he's constantly thinking about Cheeks. And he's talking to somebody, and I don't know who that's supposed to be, but he's like Mr. Bug, and then keeps talking to him. The coffin's missing. And then he gets this note, "Stop me before I eat again." So, again, just really weird that somebody's cannibalizing dolls. And throughout this, again, a lot of weird, fun shit, like How to Write Comic Books Part 12, subtext made simple. So, again, just like show you how to make a comic book within this comic book. It's just this is such a unique comic book in terms of the way everything is presented. The story is super like all over the place. We get this cool little EC Comics riff on their old covers. Worried that his teddy's gonna be eaten, and he's watching zombie movies, getting freaked out by that. And we get Cheeks, the toy wonder. Kind of looks like a little bit of like the in this style, like the Dennis the Menace type style. And these little kids are getting terrified because somebody's eating their dolls. And then he seeks help from like all the heroes of the DC universe, and nobody answers. He calls Titans, he calls Superman, he calls Batman, and nobody is coming to his aid. And then this lady is like running through the snow, and she comes, and there's a bunch of zombie dolls, and then we see Cheeks comes to her aid and saves her. And that's how this story ends. But then we see that, so glad that, the creative team realizes they have more pages to go, and they're talking to Julie Schwartz, editor. And they're like, what am I supposed to do for the next thing? Like, I have nothing else to say. So then we get a bunch of this. We get these holiday hijinks, these like one-page gags. Ambush Bug presents season's greetings from around the world and beyond. We get this first annual Fanboy Press Why Not the Best popularity poll. Then this one was one that really made me laugh, is the first appearance of Santa, and he's going to have his new ongoing series, another all-original concept from the new DC. That was pretty funny. We get like these Saturday morning TV, ads that you'd see in the middle of cartoons. And again, more hijinks of, breaking the fourth wall. And, we have Johnny DC Continuity Cop is realizing that now we're going back to page 19, and he's voided pages 20, 22, 23, 24, and 32. And now gonna try to fix the continuity of this comic book. But just such a fun, weird comic book to read this holiday season. I love this too. We get a letter to the alumnus of Arkham Asylum, and now what is it? One of his old classmates is the Joker, and he's anxiously awaiting seeing his old classmate Erwin Schwab, aka the Ambush Bug, because he's got a score to settle with him. Really fun comic. You get the true meaning of Christmas in here too. Again, a weird comic book to read for the holidays, but super fun. There's plenty of stuff I didn't even mention in the book. I mean, I definitely think that this is something you should go into somewhat blind, but I did want to flip through it, show it off a little bit. I love Keith Giffen so much. He's one of my favorite creators of all time. He's done so many great stories, created so many great characters, and I'm sure after I read that miniseries with Ambush Bug will be another one of those characters that I think is one of his best creations. Super funny story, and highly recommend picking it up if you could find a copy of it. Make sure you check out the rest of the Christmas episodes on the channel, and make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.